Parents, in this trilogue, we will cover this subject in two parts, wherein our endeavor will be to answer two important questions. The first question is that if I disappear tomorrow, what will my child remember? And second question is, what is my parenting North Star? We shall also see if these two parts are connected or not. So, starting with part one, that is, if I disappear tomorrow, what will my child remember? Let me start with you, Triptaji. So, first question I would like to ask you, why do you think this question matters to us as parents?
Vinayji, this question matters to us because parenting is not only about today, it is about tomorrow. Children may forget the routines, fight, or how perfect the home was, but they will remember how we made them feel loved and protected. A popular Hindi proverb says, "बोया पेड़ बबूल का तो फल कहाँ से आए?" The seed we are sowing today will become a tree tomorrow, and what kind of tree it will become depends upon us. So we need to think deeply how we are nurturing our children.
Thank you, Triptaji. That sounds quite logical. Now, coming to you, Sujataji, would you like to add anything to that, what Triptaji has already shared?
Yes, Vinay. So, good evening, everyone. Yeah, really, it's a deep, thought-provoking question, which will reflect the self-reflection on the parenting itself. So, will our child remember only our negative experiences like shouting or scolding at them, or will they remember our unconditional love or this belief that we have on them or being their safe space? So, it's really the question that we need to think about.
Thank you so much, Sujataji. So, that is indeed a detailed response from both of you. I shall add only 2 points. So, firstly, in my opinion, we must endeavor to transfer a permanent memory to our next generation that they will always cherish. And secondly, we need to evolve from being the daily manager to the legacy builder. If I can remind all of you of the HPH learning, we need to stop being the alarm clock and become an influencer for our children. Let me share a quotation with you all, which says that we should be like the lantern. And I'm sure our generation knows what a lantern is. So it goes that we should be like a lantern in our kids' life, which does not remove darkness, but shows us the next safe step. And with that, let me ask you, Sujata ji, what do you think our children naturally remember? And if you can also share with us, what do you remember about your parents? If you can specify that, please.
Yes, Vinayji. So, after I was asking the same question to my son, like what he would remember about me if I disappear tomorrow. So first he was hesitant to say, and later when I asked it again, then he said like Amma is a kind person. So this simple heartfelt response shows that children often remember our emotional qualities than anything else. And I also reflected the same question on myself. Like when I remember my parents, the first thing that I can think of is about their simplicity and the care they showed to me when I was sick. So that cannot be replaced by others. So with these, like the universal things that the child most often remember would be like mostly how you made them feel and the little rituals that we do like hugs or the jokes and also the most important thing is like unintentional lessons like how you treat others. Example, my son would remember like he would keenly watch how I treat my parents, how my husband treat his parents. So these lessons the children get from us, and also they may observe like how we are handling stress. So these are the things that children would observe from us, is what I feel.
Thank you, Sujata ji. Tripta ji, may I seek your views on this, please?
Vinayji, children don't remember what task we actually gave them, but they remember the tone we used with them. They don't remember how expensive the toy we gave them, but they will remember who played with those toys with them. And for sure, they will remember all our Oscar winning performances, especially the ones which we want them to forget. They will never forget it. They'll repeat those lines again and again like a parrot. As for your second question, I would like to share a few memories of my mother, of how she used to make me feel loved and safe when I was young. It was through her simple gestures, how she used to wake me up in the morning, or how she would always smile when she looked at me. Despite being busy, she always took out time to spend with me. She was my go to person, and whenever I think of her, her memories bring a smile to my face.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, I think a very comprehensive response from both of you. I will not add anything to that, but I will share two stories with you all. So my first story is a bicycle story, and it is related to my father. So my father was a government school teacher, and every Monday morning he used to travel on his bicycle approximately around 25 to 30 kilometers to reach his school. So he used to stay there and come back only, on the weekends. So every Monday morning as a kid, I used to watch him going around 6:30 without fail, whether it was rain, a storm or a normal day. It never used to change. So this small ritual has got etched in my memory and has taught me the biggest lesson of discipline and punctuality, which I think I shall never forget in life. The second story I would like to share is the broken toy story. And you all will relate to it because Tripta, you were just talking about it a few minutes earlier. So the story is a couple of years back, and I had gifted a small toy car to my son. He was initially playing very happily with that, but after a week or so, I found that his interest has got dwindled. So one fine day, when I came back from office, I saw that his toy car was broken, and he was a little upset. So I sat with him, and we together tried to fix that car. So after some effort, finally, we could make it operational. What I realized that since then, whenever he used to play with that car, he always used to look for me. So the biggest learning I had out of this story was that it was not, the car that I had given him, but the time that I spent with him to fix that car, that has made the lasting memory with him. I have very recently read somewhere, and I'll share the quote with you, which says that when your child will remember you, he or she will remember the light and not the load that you carried. The light, not the load that you carried. Now, coming back to the discussion, may I have the liberty to indulge all of you in a small three words question game? So, the question is that if your child would describe you in three words, what those words would be? And while I ask my trialogue partners for their comments, I shall open this question to all the parents here. We'll request you to type in the chat box. Just type those three words in which your child would describe you today if he has to. I'll request all parents' indulgence. Meanwhile, let me go back to my trialogue partners, and I'll start with you, Sujata ji.
So I asked the same question to my son. So he mentioned like a short, kind, and a good person.
Okay, interesting. And what about you, Tripta ji?
Mohit described me as loving, funny, and short tempered.
Okay. So both loving and short-tempered. Good. So I also asked my daughter how she would describe me in three words, and her answer was understanding, supporting, and guiding father. Now, may I ask both of you to also tell us that what would you desire those three words to be as per your wishes? Maybe Triptaji first.
I desire it to be I desired short tempered to be calm and with
Okay,
edge pace with me. I'm sure I'll achieve it one day.
okay, great. And what about you, Sujata ji?
So my son described my generic characteristics that any third person would do, but I would like to hear from him something about our connection or loving, something about me, the connection with him. Yeah.
Okay, okay, great. So even I would desire, to be remembered more like a loving father. But let's see how our journey goes. And I'll wait for some response, and then I'll get back to, what the other parents have to say. But moving ahead, I would like to know from both of you how you look at the parenting legacy. Triptaji, if I may start with you.
Vinayji, legacy is not about materialistic inheritance like the property or money which we will leave behind for our children or which the children will inherit after us. Legacy is about what we leave behind in them. It is about the emotional, mental, and value impression that we create in our child. Legacy parenting is not about a single day event. It is a lifelong journey. The moments which we think are small are the ones which make our journey special and make the biggest difference in our journey. So we should always cherish those small moments of joys with our children and celebrate them and never take them for granted.
Okay, so in that case, Triptaji, could you share with us, do you feel that we can create legacy in our daily rituals? And if yes, then how?
Legacy can be created through our daily rituals because legacy isn't created through big moments. It is created through everyday small habits. The way we talk to our children at bedtime or give them a morning hug, listen when our children speak, or simply show them love without any reason. These daily acknowledgements make our children feel safe and connected. When acknowledgement is done with intention, they form memories which our children will cherish for life. Here, I like to share a small ritual which my mother used to do with me and I have carried on with my son Mohit. Every morning, my mother woke me by putting her hand gently on my forehead and whispered Vaiguru Satnam. That touch felt like everything. It made me feel loved and blessed. Today I do the same with Mohit. I wake him up with the same words, and every night I repeat them and tell him, I love you. It's a legacy of life that is passed from one generation to the next. And I'd also like to add that the key here is the consistency and energy. Even 2 to 5 minutes spent daily with the right energy makes the difference. It builds a lasting emotional legacy. And we should always focus on creating legacy parenting and not the leftover parenting, which we tend to do sometimes.
Okay, so that's interesting, Triptaji. Sujata ji, what are your views on that?
Yeah, Tachi has detailed it. Yeah, even I was thinking legacy is something about something grand, but it is not that. It is about the small, consistent rituals that will shape our emotional qualities of the kid. So, yeah, in HPH also we are following many daily rituals. So, few examples I would like to quote here. Like we could have some rose and thorn for a day at our dinner. Like each person in a family should share their one good thing or a challenge they faced in each day. And we can go together for a family night walks or the family meeting itself from our HPH. So these simple acts will foster the open communication with our kids and the gratitude which we have in our HPH, right? So that helps the children to appreciate both the big and the small joy they have. And the meditation we have in our HPH, we can practice it along with the kid so that it helps in the kids' anger management issues and all. So I feel, yeah, the already we are following that in our HPH, but this will create the legacy, not about the grand things.
Okay, thank you, Sujata ji. So I think I would only add that in my understanding, micro moments matter. Be it the eye contact or the soft touch or maybe the warm hug, I think everything matters. Both of you have highlighted the importance of doing one small thing daily. And to emphasize that, I would remind the parents about, the HPH learning of daily acknowledgement, a small ritual, but so powerful. And also something called crazy activity. Even if once a day or even once a week, a small activity, but so powerful. So I would say, parents, that HPH has also taught us that parenting is a game of energy. And I can say with full conviction that if you can spread positive energy in daily rituals, then you can create a life long legacy. For example, you can create an independent and capable child. I would rather urge the parents here today to have a daily routine, which like start in the morning with a warm hug to the child while waking up. When you send them or to school, I'll request kindly prepare two backpacks. One which is visible, fill them up with books, tiffins, water bottles, whatever you want to. Please prepare one more, which will be invisible. Fill it up with love, care, smile, and whatnot, whatever you can think of. When they come back from school, listen to their story patiently, without any judgment. Acknowledge their good works. In the evening, play with them if you can. And last but not the least, spend few minutes while they go to sleep, telling them some bedtime story, your own experiences of the day, share some emotions. Finally, give them a good night hug or a good night kiss to end the day. And if you can do that religiously, parents, I can assure you, magic will flow. So, coming back to you, Triptaji, you spoke about leftover parenting towards the end of your response. Could you please elaborate on that?
Vinayji, leftover parenting means giving your child whatever energy, time, or attention is left after everything else. It's the parenting which we do after we are tired, busy, or stressed. Instead of giving love, response, or guidance, we end up giving them reaction, irritation, or rushed answers. It is not intentional parenting. It happens automatically because we do not pause and think about the effect of our reaction on our children. इसका एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल है. When a working parent comes back from office, he or she is tired and at times is carrying the negative energy of the workplace. The child and greets him with full enthusiasm, but the parent doesn't respond with the same energy or at times react with irritation. This is what leftover parenting is. Here, what the parent must do is take a break before entering the house, maybe a few deep breaths to calm oneself, or listening to music on the way back home, which may have a calming effect on the parent. I asked my husband about it. He told me that he likes to stop on the way home to buy some grocery items. He said that it helps him to take a pause and let go of any negative thoughts which he is carrying from the office before entering the house. So, when we are overwhelmed with emotions, it is very necessary to take a pause before responding to the child to avoid passing on our negative energy.
Yeah, grocery was a good idea. Many husbands who are here can take that. But yeah, coming back to you, Sujata ji, have you heard about it? Because I'm hearing for this term for the first time.
No, I have not heard about it before, but I believe I'm doing that. So I always think about work. There is no break. So I pass that to my children. So yeah, maybe it's a good lesson to change for myself.
Okay, great. So at least we come to know about some term during the discourse. So I'll urge all the parents not to do leftover parenting in case they are doing that. Now shifting to part two, that is what is my parenting North Star? And I'll start with you, Tripta ji. What do you understand about parenting North Star?
Vinayji, in simple terms, North Star is the star, one star that never moves from its place. No matter where the travelers are or how lost they feel, they can always look up and find direction. Our parenting North Star is that one value that is non negotiable. Whether our child is behaving, misbehaving, angry, excited, or throwing tantrums, no matter what they are doing. Just like sailors use the North Star to guide them in storms, parents use the North Star in situations of tantrums, drama, or conflict. When everything feels out of control, our North Star reminds us of who we want to be. Parenting North Star is just like a Google map that prevents us from getting lost in daily stress and guides us back to intentional and loving parenting.
Well, I think Google Map is a fascinating analogy to which all of us, I think, will be able to connect. In my understanding, it is a beacon of light, a light beam which keeps guiding us in our parenting journey. But let me get back to Sujata ji. Please tell me, why do you think we need to discuss this issue today?
Yes, Sanjay. So this will help us to focus beyond our daily routines and then to focus on the legacy. So it helps us to align our actions with our thoughts, especially during the challenging moments. So it serves as a compass for us, which will guide us. Like example, I could like to quote a scenario that, let's say now a child is having a difficult school project, and then the child is frustrated and he is about to going to quit that. So now, let's say our North Star is bringing up a responsible child. Then the first step, what we should do is take a pause and then reflect on it. Like, but often we will either immediately step in and then help him, or like immediately we will express our disappointment or about the past experiences. So we shouldn't do that, but we need to pause and then reflect on it. And we can support them but not solve them. Like we can show our support by showing our empathy, saying that it's really tough and you can break it into smaller steps and then proceed. Or we can guide them, like how to find the resources for it. And we can also model them caring in the situation. Like we can say, we can show our patience towards them, and also show them that we have some confidence on them and then they can complete the work, so that we can show them. So, normally, it will be tempting at every situation to solve that problem at that moment. But many times we will not think about the long-term results, like how the small thing will help to build the resilience or the self-confidence of the kid. Normally, we will not think about it. But let's say if you have a North Star for yourself, then and often keep reminding about it, then maybe we'll follow the simple steps so that we stay focused.
Okay, so you made a very interesting point, Sujata ji. And with that point, I'll ask you that how can we discover our parenting North Star? And if you may, kindly also tell us that what are the possible, parenting North Stars for us?
Yes, Suneji. So, we can ask ourselves few questions. It is about like what kind of person like do I want my child to become? Not in terms of achievements, but in terms of qualities like kind or confident. And we can also think like what kind of environment am I creating for that? Like, am I creating the freedom for the kid, or am I creating the safe environment at home? That also matters because that will get shaped for our emotional qualities of the kid. So, and also we need to reflect from our childhood, like whether we want them to carry anything forward from us, or we want to break that they don't want to follow from us. And with all these questions, we can get an answer, and it should be a very simple sentence, because if it is too complicated, then it is difficult to remember in very challenging situation. So let's say if my North Star is like connection before correction, then in tough moments, I should prioritize the relationship over reacting for it. So our parenting North Star could be very simple. Like it could be like bringing up a confident kid, or a kind kid, or a caring kid, or a self-responsible kid. It could be anything. But the thing to remember is like it should be very simple, and with our asking these questions, we can arrive at that.
Thank you, Sujata ji. So, if you ask me, parents, my parenting North Star is, I can summarize in three words: love, empathy, and respect. And I'm emphasizing a lot on love very, very consciously because, in my understanding, all that is the cornerstone of everything, even parenting, is love. And if I may quote my favorite poet, Rumi, he says that through love, all that is bitter will be sweet. Through love, all that is copper will be gold. And through love, all that is pain will turn into medicine. So I think love has a long impact on our parenting journey. Sujata ji, I'll come back to you to probe you a little further. Do you think that we can use our parenting North Star in our daily practices also?
Yes, Vinayji. So, as we are following in our HPH, like all our daily tasks are tracked. So, similarly, this North Star should also be tracked. Like, first, we should translate our North Star into some daily behaviors. Like, let's say if my North Star is caring, then I should practice caring together with a kid, like helping a friend or caring for a pet or do some voluntary activity as a family. So we should practice it as a daily thing, and then we should remember it every time, like how we are marking in Tag Mango. Similarly, maybe we should have a like a sticky note or place it in a fridge or mirror. So because the consistency is very important for this North Star. And we can ask end of day one reflection question, like, am I aligned to my North Star today? And if not, like, what I need to do again to try again tomorrow. And also, we should let our child participate in this North Star, because this is done for the kid. So, let's say if the North Star is curiosity, then we should explore a question with the kid daily. So, with this simple steps, we can track the North Star as in our daily practice.
I think you summarized it well, but let me bring back Triptaji into the discussion. And Triptaji, do you agree with what Sujataji is saying, or you have a different take on this?
Vinay ji, I agree with Sujata ji. Using our North Star every day in our everyday life is very easy. Before we see or do anything, we should take one small pause and ask if we are what we are doing now is aligned with our North Star. For example, my North Star is emotional safety. So how do I use it in small moments in my daily life? In morning, no matter how much hurry we are in, we should always speak kindly to our children. For homework, we should help them calmly. We should encourage our children to try and not lose our temper. During fights or anger, we should always take a pause and stay peaceful. During bedtime, we should always say loving words or have a small family ritual together. When children make mistake, we should support our children instead of getting upset. We don't need big changes in our life. Small everyday actions become habits, and these habits become the memories that our children will cherish for forever.
Thank you, Triptaji. That brings a different perspective, because I used to think that North Star has to be one North Star as it is in the universe, in the cosmos. But you brought a very interesting perspective that even in the smaller moments there could be separate North Star for that particular scenario. And I think we can ponder over this issue. Well, let me remind you all another basic HPH learning, which says that kids are like plants. They respond to the environment. I still remember the initial days when AB sir started this journey. He started with this quotation. And we all need to do this, to create the environment. So, if I may attempt to answer the question which Colonel Lamba was asking the other day, last Wednesday, I think I can suggest three basic steps to do what is required to be done. And AB sir has been hinting time and again for the long list. So it is not a long list, it is just three steps. So, first step is to establish connect. And I think this can be done in a very simple way through positive energy parenting. The second step is to create a system, which again can be done through home systemathon, which is available to all of you as diamond members, which includes various structures like family meeting, pocket money, dialogue, etc. And thus you can establish a loving authority at your home, which all of us desire. So that can be very simplistically done if we follow the systemathon. And the third step I will add is to believe in them. Allow your child to be independent. Let him or her explore the world. And I firmly believe in this, and I use this dialogue: sky is the limit for them. So I still remember AB sir said once, and maybe a couple of times, that if you believe in your child, you are right. But if you believe your child can't, you are still right. So, both ways, whatever your belief is, that the way it will manifest finally. Now, coming back to you, Sujata ji, how has your parenting changed after you have identified your North Star so that we can understand, how in practical life we can relate to that?
Yes, Swaneji. So as you mentioned about the connection, yeah, that is the first North Star I had. Because before joining the HPH, my son would say no to everything, everything in the sense like even if I asked him to do some work or go to any classes or let's say call him out either for a trip or for a local trip, so he would just say no for everything. So many times I wouldn't know like how to react because he would just simply deny it. So we cannot even talk to him further, or I don't know how to make him do something. So later, when I realize the connection, when my connection got better with the kid, then now I realize that maybe he denies few things and then few things he will give me an answer like why he's denying that. Like maybe he'll say like I am outgrown, so I don't want to go to that particular spot. So he explains me or gives some feedback than simply saying no. Because earlier he thinks like whatever he says, I won't understand. So he'll not give me a reply also. So still a long way to go. But at least now he's accepting few things or denies few things and responds to me in a better way. So yeah, that way I feel uh, this is very important to have North Star and get aligned to it.
And what about you, Triptaji? What has been your experience on this front?
Vinayji, I'd like to share my journey with HPH regarding this. Before joining HPH, Mohit suddenly stopped going to school. Like many parents, I started putting pressure on him to go to school, but it totally had an opposite effect on him. He completely withdrew himself, locked himself in the room for days, ate only one meal a day, avoided me as if I was a plague. I felt completely helpless and confused. This went on for about 2 months, and then I found HPH. HPH helped me realize the truth. I was parenting without a North Star. I was not looking at the root cause of the problem. I was only reacting, and I was not responding to the situation. Though my intentions were right, my actions were creating bigger problems. I was completely ignoring emotional safety, that value that actually mattered to me in those times. Once I discovered my North Star, everything shifted. I stopped pushing and started connecting. I listened to Mohit more. I stopped judging him. So today, Mohit listens to me more. He feels emotionally connected with me. He feels emotionally safe with me. Our relationship has improved a lot. Finding my North Star not only changed my parenting, it changed my home. It brought peace and happiness back.
That is indeed a very heartwarming journey, Triptaji, and my compliments to you on behalf of HPH. So my last question to you would be, why do you think parenting legacy and parenting North Star should come together?
Vinage, it is very simple. Legacy is the result, and North Star is the process. Legacy is what your child carries in their heart, and North Star is how you shape that heart daily.
Okay, wonderful. So I think we all agree that the two are deeply intertwined. While our parenting North Star shows us the path in darkness as the beacon of light, our parenting legacy will create the child that we want our kids to be. So before ending the discussion, I will go back to the chat box and see what comments have come to the question that we had asked. So Janveji says, good, kind, strict. Rajesh ji is yet to ask the question. Ramalakshmi says never asked. Okay, so you may ask now. Nemala says friend, support, helpful, wonderful. Okay. So Rashmiji says pretty, witty, and understanding. Wow, that's quite interesting. Disciplined, punctual, and care. Bhartiji says. Poonam yet to ask. Shubhangi says talkative, friendly, and supportive. Oh, wonderful. Cute, short, and who was this? Cute, short, and tempered. Good. Short tempered and good. Okay, Naina, thank you. Okay, wonderful. Then we have Padmini, kind, understanding, and nice. Okay, Shikha, strict, intelligent, and lovable. So I find a lot of contradictions. Even in Triptaji's response, there was a bit of, and in Shikha's also. So you are strict also and lovable also. Wonderful. Amit ji says, I personally feel that we cannot base what our children think based on the present time. It is a dynamic thought process and and the emotions will change as per. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Amit ji. But, my understanding is that you must know what he or she is thinking today so that you get the understanding. And then, as I ask the next question, is this what you desire? If you desire something else, so like my daughter told, guiding, supporting, but I'm looking for lovable, so guiding, supporting is fine, but I'm looking for more. Ye dil mange more, as Vikram Batra said from the heights of Kargil war. So I think we can do that. Rashmi ji, true, because okay, so I think that was all the response that we had. And well, with that, I think we'll come to the end of our trilogue. I'm sorry if we disappointed you because we didn't have a presentation to show you, but we thought we'll do it a little differently in the form of a casual or informal talk. I must thank my trilogue partners for their candid views and all of you for not only participating in the game that we opened, but also giving us a patient hearing. I would request all parents, and it's a very sincere request, to reflect on the two questions that we have raised today. Because I think these are very pertinent questions, and we must try to seek some answer to that. Whatever be that answer, we must have some answer. We will be glad if you share your perspective either within the discussion today or maybe later on. We would leave you with one last question. And to this question, I don't want an answer. I would request you to answer to yourself. And that question is that are we building the legacy that we want using the North Star that we chose? Please reflect on this and answer to yourself. Thank you, everyone.